What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, as you'll see by the thumbnail, unfortunately we had a bit of an accident with the Corolla at the last round of the WA State Series. Behind me is the car. I'm going to show you guys all the damage that's happened, what our plans are, how we're going to rebuild and how we're going to get to the next round, which is only 2.5 weeks away as of today. So stick around, let's go through it and yeah, let's assess the damage. All right guys, so to start off today, we're going to be running you through what happened with the Corolla, how bad the damage is, just giving you a bit of a recap of the event and what we're going to do to move forward. So Please stick around to the end of the video. At the end of this video, we are going to show you guys how you can get involved if you want to and be a part of the rebuild. I think it's a pretty cool idea, and it's a little bit of a way to give back to you guys too that follow the channel. So make sure you stick around, check it out at the end, and let us know what you think. Let's cut right down to the chase. Last round was round 3 of the WA State Series. This season is 5 rounds with a drop round, so it's actually 4 rounds. At the moment, we're leading the championship. It's been a great year so far, to be honest. We P1'd round 1 and 2 and top qualified at the second round. Can't really ask for much more. The car's been on form this year since we have gone to the supercharger setup. So as you guys will remember, obviously the engine bay is very different now, but we have gone to the supercharger setup this season. And we actually made this change at the beginning of the year before and we went to LZ Tour in Melbourne. Obviously it's been a bit of a process. If you have followed my journey on social media and through my previous YouTube videos, we've had some dramas with the motor and stuff, but now it has been really exciting because the last 3 rounds we've been to, it has been absolutely faultless. We haven't even put a spanner on the car mechanically. The only things we've had to do have been by either self problems or just purely unlucky. So it's been really good, touch wood, this season. Unfortunately, it did come to a bit of a fiery end at the last round, as you guys will see by the thumbnail, and if you follow my socials, we had a pretty bad accident. The car definitely in pretty bad shape. We're going to walk through it in just a moment. Unfortunately, the chase car made contact with my front wheel, damaging my steering rack. Now that we've got the steering rack out of the car, you'll be able to see it, but it totally bent the rack, enabling me to move the steering wheel. And unfortunately, coming out of the corner, I had spun out because I couldn't change the steering lock, and he come through and cleaned me up in the smoke with a straight direct, pretty much head on. So it's very solid in the front, obviously tight for room with the supercharger and the engine, and yeah, having a hard impact where we're almost stopped, and him coming through and cleaning us up definitely made an impact. So that's what happened. Not much to it, obviously. You guys will see with the overlay of the footage that it's a pretty significant hit. At first glance, it actually doesn't look that bad, but I can assure you it was pretty bad. We're going to walk through the damage now, and yeah, let's see what you guys think. We already have the front of the car stripped. We did start before we started filming. I have taken some small bits and pieces in the meantime, just some photos and stuff that we can show you of what's happened. So far, we've already changed the steering rack. The steering rack is on the bench behind us. It is unfortunately very bananas. So that's what the initial contact was that made us lose the steering. And as you can see, obviously the steering rack couldn't turn back in at that point, and that's why we'd spun out. From there on, we've got the car movable. And the reason why we did that first was so that we could take it to my friend's place, Mitch at Larner Panel and Paint. He was kind enough to put the car on a chassis jig, and we had to pull the front tower and the whole front end across. I'm going to change the camera for you guys. Front tower was actually moved over. I'm going to go into some montage so you guys can see. The tower was actually right up against the filter and had the filter squashed. And these bars here, if you actually look down here, this bar actually hit the supercharger. That's obviously a shaft with a bearing in it. And if this supercharger makes metal, it puts metal in the oil. So it's a very serious bit of contact that we have to be very careful of. Can cause major problems if not assessed correctly. So we're actually going to pull this supercharger off first thing in the morning and send that to Kappa Performance, one of our major sponsors for this season, that supplied us the Vortec. They're the dealer here in Australia for Vortec, and they've provided us this setup for this car, and we've had nothing but great things to say about them. They're great to work with. Obviously, I love the power and the way they sound. So we're going to send that directly to them. We actually are in talks at the moment of potentially upgrading it, so going bigger. At first, when we first got this supercharger, it was never meant to go on this engine combo, so it's actually a little bit small for this setup. When I say small, it still makes plenty of power, but for what we want to do with the car, I actually genuinely do want a little bit more power, as funny as that sounds. We want to do some more track work and some roll racing, and just with more power overall, not only will it make more power up top, but it'll make more power down low because it drives off the crank. So we're in talks with them at the moment if we can make that happen. If not, we'll just get this blower checked and fixed and sent back. We only have 2.5 weeks. They assure me they can make it work. Unfortunately, we will be time restrained to what happens with postage. If anybody knows, if you're watching that's not in Australia, our postage system absolutely sucks. We can get something faster here from overseas than we can across the other side of the border. So we're on a time crunch, but we're going to try. Moving on, it actually doesn't look that bad now, to be honest. After going on the chassis machine today, Mitch and the guys, they've done such a great job. Obviously, they pulled the bar off the supercharger, off the air filter. And because this car is so custom and unique, obviously there's not many factory reference points you can go by, but they did their best to measure so many things and get it pretty much square. But they've managed to get it back to roughly where it was before. They can assure me that the tower had actually physically moved 20 mil inwards and up. So we could tell by the damage that was here, this bar was very bent. And now that they've pulled it, it's all straightened out. That's why I left everything on as much as I could so we could see what they pull and how it moves it. Obviously, they're the experts. Unfortunately, I wasn't actually there for it. We've been restrained to working, but I left it in their hands and more than capable. I would give them a shout out and say that if you guys ever need any chassis work done or panel beating, to hit them up. But to be honest, they probably wouldn't do it because he hates drift cars, and he only did it for me because, you know, we've worked together for a long time and I help him, he helps me, and I'm extremely grateful. They fitted me in on a work day and can't be happier with what they've done. So I'm excited. The car is back to a clean slate. The reason why I'm actually excited is that now we can get to work. So this event was just over a week ago, about a week and a half now, and we have just over 2 weeks to get the car sorted. And the reason why I didn't dive in and start cutting things and doing it is because we needed to have a clean foundation to start. I didn't want to go cutting all this out off the front and then the tower be in the wrong spot and just piecing it together. We wanted to get it back straight before we started. Now it's straight, we can cut it all off, start again, get it right. And yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to it now. And obviously, we're going to be able to revise it. When we initially built this car, we were just adding on to the car it was before, you know. Whereas now, we're going to be able to manipulate it and make it exactly how it's supposed to be. It's going to be done right. And thanks to some amazing partners, we're going to be releasing them in further videos and giving them the props that they deserve. But we have a lot of our partners jumping back on board to supply us new parts, better parts. A couple of people have obviously supported the program in other ways. But I'm really looking forward to it. As much as this has been a bit of a downer for me personally, and how much work I know is involved to get it going again, I'm excited now because the hard part's done. The rest is just up to me now to put the work in and get it right. But touching base on that, the hardest thing for me with this setup and everything that's happened in the last couple of weeks, unfortunately these things happen, it's motorsport. I know I didn't deliberately do it and it is what it is. Unfortunately, it just sucks when I didn't do anything wrong. He made contact with my wheel, I lost the steering, got cleaned up, and now we have some extensive damage to fix. And it's a really hard pill to swallow. It's one thing when you do it yourself, but when it's caused by somebody else, it's really hard. So no ill will to Jamie. Unfortunately, it is what it is. His car's banged up pretty bad too, and it sucks. Sucks for both of us. So all we can do is rebuild and move on. But we're going to keep getting into this video. I don't want to talk too much. I'm sorry if I'm rambling on a little bit. Obviously trying to explain this all for you guys so you guys can get the best understanding you can of what's going on. And yeah, let's keep on moving on. So that's obviously the main thing. The two things were the supercharger and the tower. It's all back to normal now. The supercharger will be sent off tomorrow. On the floor here, you'll see this is the parts that have been broken. So the radiator, as you can see, is completely bent. It's got a hole in it. It ripped the tabs off the bottom. It's destroyed. No good. Expensive PWR radiator in the bin. Intercooler damaged. Unfortunately, my Phoenix 100mm Pro Series intercooler is done. Thanks to the guys at Phoenix, they're going to be sending me a new one. We'll touch base on that in another episode. The cooler pipes are destroyed. Custom cooler pipes made particularly for this car, finished. Blow-off valve broken. Cosmetic damage, the fender, the headlight, the grille, all hard things to get. The fender is a custom one-of-one guard that we've made. So that's going to be a hard one. We can obviously patch it for the last round, but these guards are custom made in-house. They're a factory guard, widened to be wide body, obviously with the custom flare as well. So that's going to be hard to fix, but we're going to try and make it work for the last round. Obviously our custom headlights got damaged. We'll have to patch them up. Yeah, obviously I know it's not expected that the car has to be like primo top notch. Obviously we want to get it mechanically driving good, but I don't want to rock up with the car looking beat either. So we're going to try really hard. We have to replace the dry sump lines. They got crushed in the accident. We broke an alternator. The chassis rail pushed over into the alternator, which broke the alternator. It's a pretty extensive damage list, really, when you think about it. Retail and all these parts would be, you know, probably over $10,000, and going on a chassis machine and paying someone to do all that stuff, I'm grateful for the support that I have, and I couldn't do it without all my amazing partners and people that want to help and support me. It just is what it is, and we're here now. I've been rambling for 13 minutes about it. I hope that this gives you guys a bit of an insight into what's happened, what's going on, and how bad it was. I guess I'm just grateful now that the car has been pulled out square, and now we just got to get to work. So this video is just to inform you guys of what's going on and what happened. Looking forward to releasing another video for you guys where we're going to get into it, and we're going to try and get this thing going and be better than it ever was. So we've got 2.5 weeks till the final round. It's going to be a push, but we're going to try and make it happen. And yeah, we got a lot to do, but we'll break it all down for you guys, hopefully over the coming weeks. And yeah, make sure you keep up to date with us. All right, guys, so now we get into the fun part. We have been working with our designer. He's been designing us t-shirts, and we're gonna have a limited edition special just for you guys. We have a 2025 Championship Rebuild t-shirt coming out after this weekend. This video goes live. On Monday, we release a pre-order for our Rebuild t-shirts. If you guys would like to support us, a few people have asked us how they can help, and I wanted to work with my design team to be able to come up with an idea. And basically, if you guys want to help, we will be doing a limited edition run of these t-shirts. We're actually going to be doing a special offer just for this final round. We have 2 shirts dropping. One's going to be a casual tee and one is this Rebuild tee. We're going to do an offer where if you buy 2 t-shirts, it'll be $150. You get both shirts, any size you want, but you go in the running to come for a passenger ride with me at the final round of the D1WA Championship. And that's in 2.5 weeks. So one lucky viewer or person that supports our program will be coming for a ride with me, and I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, it's a unique opportunity. You obviously get to come in my championship leading Corolla, and obviously it'll be rebirth, rebuilt. It'll be exciting. Who knows what's going to happen? Obviously, we're going to be on a big push to get it done. But I just wanted to give you guys an option and an opportunity. If you want to help and support us, this is how we're giving you guys the opportunity to do that. So that concludes this video, and this is coming to an end now. You guys have got to see the Corolla. We've given you a bit of a debrief on the car and what's going on. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and now have a bit more of an understanding of what's going on. Over the next couple of weeks, obviously we're going to try and push some content. We're going to try and film all of the rebuild here in Thunder Motorsport. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. We're going to have more content coming. Don't forget to let us know if you guys want the shirts. Watch out for the pre-order, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for tuning in, guys.